sea. Why don't you come along and join me in the sea? Hi everybody, how are you today? It's Jill from Playdate Harmonies. And can you guess where I am today? That's right, I'm in the ocean. In fact, I'm in the sea underwater. Today is going to be really fun because we're going to talk about different sea creatures and a little bit about each one of them. So let's see if you can identify each sea creature, and maybe you know a little bit of information about them, or maybe you're going to learn something new. So let's get started. Okay, everybody, let's talk about our very first sea creature that we're going to discuss today. And can you guess what this is? That's right, it's a seahorse. So seahorse are tiny fish, and they're actually named for the shape of their head, which is shaped like a horse. And did you know that there's over 50 different kinds of seahorses? 50 different kinds of species. They have a backbone, that bone that runs along your back. They have a backbone, but they don't have any ribs, no ribs. And they can use their tail to grasp onto objects, so to hold onto objects. And they live in seagrass beds, mangrove tree roots, and coral reefs. They have actually really great eyesight, which helps them find food and protects them from predators. And did you know something that's kind of interesting about them? They don't have a stomach. No stomach? So you know what that means? It means that they actually have to eat very often. And the other really cool thing about them is that they can change colors so that they can hide. All right, everybody, let's talk about the next sea creature that we see. Who do you see? That's right, it's a starfish. So did you know that starfish have 5 arms generally? Some of them can have more than 5 arms, but typically you'll see starfish have 5 arms. And at the very tip of their arms, they have eye spots. And they can detect light and darkness. And they don't have any brains in their head, but instead what they have is something called a nervous system. And this nervous system can sense touch, hot and cold, and any kind of chemicals that might be in the water surrounding them. And something very interesting about starfish is that they can take their stomachs and stick them outside of their bodies. And do you know why they do that? It's because their mouths are too small to eat prey or food that they want to be eating that is larger than them. So if they stick their stomachs outside of their bodies, that allows them to be able to eat prey that's larger than them and larger than their mouths. So they live to be about 35 years, and the things that they like to eat are things like clams and oysters, coral, and fish. Pretty interesting. All right, and who do we see next in the sea? Do you get it? Yeah, it's a type of turtle. It's called a sea turtle. And you know something really cool about sea turtles? They can live to be up to about 80 years old. That's pretty old when you think about it. And they have great memories. They can return to the beach, actually, where they were born to lay eggs decades later, so several years later, they can go to that same beach that they were born at, and they remember where they were, and they lay their own eggs there. And then they are herbivores, and do you know what that word means? It means that they can eat things like algae and plants like seagrass. Some of them can tolerate meat, and do you know what that makes them? It makes them something called an omnivore, which means that they can eat both plants and meat. And they need air, but they actually can hold their breath for about 85 minutes under the water before they have to come up to the sea surface to get what's called oxygen. And that's what you and I breathe as human beings. So the other cool thing is that they can use their rear flippers, their feet in the back, and they dig the sand up so that they can lay their eggs. And do you know how many eggs they can lay at one time? They lay 100 to 125 eggs at one time. And the other interesting thing about them is they have been around for over 200 million years, which is longer than the dinosaurs. Pretty cool, huh? Wow, look at this big sea creature. Wow. Have you ever seen one of those before? Yeah, it's called a manatee, that's right. And did you know that manatees are the closest living creatures to elephants? Yeah, and they can grow to be about 15 feet long, and they can weigh over 3,500 pounds, which, to put into perspective, is about as heavy or even heavier than a grand piano, a big, big piano. Yeah, and they like to live in a mixture of either fresh water and salt water, and they are herbivores. Do you remember what that word means? Yeah, that means they like to eat plants. And because they're so big, they have big appetites too. They have to eat for 7 hours a day. Can you imagine that? It's almost as long as we're awake all day. They're just eating and grazing on food for 7 hours a day. And they are very slow swimmers. And just like the sea turtles, they have lungs like humans, and they need to go up to the surface to get oxygen or air so that they can breathe. Pretty neat. Very big animals, and like we say, they're the closest living creatures to elephants. Pretty cool. What do you see now? Oh, yeah, it's a type of fish, isn't it? Do you know something funny about this fish? It's called a clownfish. And you know, they're not very strong swimmers, but they can dart around really quickly into tight spaces. And they are something called omnivores. And that means that they like to eat plants, and they can eat meat like small creatures such as mollusks and crabs. And you know something really cool about them? They can talk to each other. They make like clicking and popping sounds to communicate or talk to one another. I thought that was pretty cool. They live in warm, shallow parts of the Indian and Pacific Oceans. And they live with something called sea anemones. Hopefully I said that right. And they live inside the sea anemone's tentacles for protection. So pretty cool about the clownfish, huh? Do 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 do. Do you see that? Oh, what is that? That's right, it's a shark. Ooh, yeah, sharks are some of my favorite sea creatures. They're just so very cool. Did you know that there's over 500 different types of sharks? Yeah, and they come in a variety of different shapes, sizes, and colors as well. And they are among the oldest animals on our planet. Do you know what planet we live on? That's right, Earth. Very good. Yeah, they've lived for over 400 million years, and that's long before dinosaurs ever existed. So they have skeletons that are made of something called cartilage. And you know what cartilage is? It's what our ears are made of and our noses. So it's not quite a bone, right? But it's bendable, and that's what sharks are made of, cartilage. So they don't leave fossils behind like other mammals and sea creatures would, because they have bones. But you know what they do leave behind, and maybe you've even searched for some of these, are shark's teeth. Have you ever gone to a beach and searched for shark's teeth before? Where I live here in Florida, there's a lot of shark's teeth. And even some people around here have found megalodon teeth. Can you believe that? The biggest sharks out there. Whoa. They generally like warm oceans around the world, but there's such a thing as the Greenland shark, and that one likes to live in cold Arctic water. So they're carnivores. And do you know what that is? We've talked about herbivores, which eat plants. We've talked about omnivores, which eat both plants and meat. So what do you think a carnivore is? That's right, it likes to eat meat, right? So they eat other fish and other animals using their big, sharp teeth and powerful jaws, jump, right? Just like in Jungle Time, we talk about the crocodile, jump, 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 jump. Shark is kind of like that too. So they can be as small as a dwarf lantern shark, which is only 6 inches long. I don't know, maybe like the size of a pencil. But they can also be as big as like over 40 feet, just like the whale shark, which is like the size of a semi-truck. Do any of you out there like cars and trucks? If you do, you know what a semi-truck is and how big it is. Yeah, so sharks are super cool. All right, let's talk about this next sea creature. And honestly, I know I said I love sharks, which I do, but I think I love this creature the best. Do you know what it is? Yeah, it's an octopus. Very good. And do you know how many arms an octopus has? It tells you in its name, octo. 8. Very, very good. So octopus, they range in sizes from 2 inches, very little, to about 18 feet long. And they have arms that can span up to 30 feet, like a big, giant school bus. They can change colors to match their surroundings or their mood too. And you know a big word for something that can match, blend in with their surroundings? It's called camouflage. Can you say that with me? Camouflage, yeah. Very, very cool. So like we said, they have 8 long, slender arms, and on those arms, they have 2 rows of cup-like suckers that just grab and stick onto things. And the other thing that's very cool about them is they have very, very big brains, which means too that they have very good memories, and they can solve pretty big problems too, believe it or not. They have 3 hearts, 1, 2, 3 hearts, wow. And they like the warm water, but they only live to be about 3 years old, max. And some of them only live to be like 6 months old. And when they're upset or if they feel threatened, they can release something called ink, which makes big cloud in the water so that their predators, the things that are chasing them, can't even see where they are. So they just squirt that ink out, and then the predators are just lost in the ink. They can't find them. Octopuses are pretty cool. Okay, we only have a couple more sea creatures left, and guess what this one is? A lobster, yeah, that's right. So lobsters, did you know that they can be as big as 3 or 4 feet long? That's like the size of you, maybe. Maybe a little smaller, maybe a little bigger. That's pretty big, isn't it? But I know a lot of us, the ones that maybe if you've ever eaten a lobster or ever seen one, they don't really get too big, the ones that we eat, maybe a foot or so. But they can live to be over 100 years old. That's very old, right, for a living thing. And they grow by doing something what's called molting. And this is the shedding of their outer shell, and they grow a new shell. So that old shell, it kind of deteriorates and comes off, and underneath is a brand new, beautiful shell. Yeah. And they have 8 walking legs. They have 2 large claws. You probably see them on the front. And they have 4 antennae at the top of their heads right there. Yeah. And so they usually will hide among the rocks at night, or like during the day, they'll hide among the rocks. And then at nighttime, when they feel a little more safe, they'll come out and they'll hunt for fish, crabs, and plants. So what is it again if they like to eat both meat and plants? Do you remember the word? Begins with the letter O. That's right, an omnivore. Very good. And did you know an interesting fact? 1 in every 2 million lobsters can be blue in color. Talk about rare. All right, everyone, this is the very last sea creature. Can you guess what that is? Yeah, it's a crab, yeah. Did you know that crabs are related to insects and spiders? And I can kind of see why, especially spiders. You know what a spider looks like, right? With its legs, right? A crab is kind of like that too. It's got legs, except it has a little bit of a harder shell, right? And they come in all different shapes and sizes and colors, like red, blue, and even purple. They have jointed crust-like shells, and they walk sideways because of the way that their legs are. Their legs are attached to the sides of their bodies. Have you ever tried to do a crab walk before? It's kind of fun. And they have large, strong claws on their front legs that they use to protect themselves and to eat. So much like the lobster has, they have these 2 big pincher claws right in front, bump, 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 bump. And they are omnivores, which again means they like to eat plants and animals, but their main diet consists of what's called algae. All right, now we're gonna dig in here, swim through the water or the kinetic sand and see who we find. Who do you see in there?
Then maybe there's nobody in here.
Maybe not. I have a feeling someone's in there. Who is that?
It's a golden sea turtle.
A sea turtle. Hold that sea turtle up. Whoa, look at that.
He's golden and he's golden treasure.
Yeah, golden treasure. All right.
Yeah. Let's put him right there.
All right, who else is in there?
Oh, I think I feel somebody's heart.
Feel somebody in there? Who is it?
Oh,
Who is that?
it's Hammerhead.
A hammerhead shark? Let's show that to the camera.
I think this is Wesley's kind of swim guy.
Oh, your friend Wesley. Wow, very
Me,
cool.
my friend Wesley.
Yes.
He loves hammerheads.
They're pretty cool, aren't they? They have eyes on the side of their head, right on the side of the hammer. This stuff is so cool. Who else is in there? Oh, I think you uncovered a couple. Who's that? It's a sea
Otter.
otter. Let's
He's
put that
my,
one up.
Audrey likes this one.
Yeah. There you go. The sea otter. Our toys are well loved, as you can see.
Oh, I found another guy. Oh, he's got some sand stuck in his mouth.
Oh, that's okay. And who do we have there? Let's hold that up to the camera and show.
It's a whale.
It's a little whale, a little blue whale.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Anybody else in there? Or did we get all our friends? Let's see. Okay, we have some new friends in the water now too. Let's see who else we can find. Who's in there?
Ooh, I found a secret guy.
Who's that? Can you hold that up for us to see? It's a
Dolphin.
dolphin, a black dolphin.
He's so cute. He likes to jump on my fingers. So look at you. Now look, I put you over here. And you are my first animal.
All right, who else is in there?
Whoa. Hey, tentacles. Oh, this guy. Huh. He's stuck up there.
Who is it?
Sand.
That's okay. Who is it? Hold that one up. What is it, Willa?
Oh, I'll tell you what it is. It's an octopus.
It's an octopus. Okay.
You're my
Red
second animal.
octopus.
Oh, I see
Do
somebody
you see
popping
anybody else?
up. I see somebody popping up.
Who's that? Who's that? It's
It's a lobster. It's a lobster.
oops, yeah,
It's a lobster.
an orange lobster. And wait a second, who is that you're pulling out there? Is that a type of dinosaur?
What?
What kind?
He's got some stuff. It's a mosasaurus.
A mosasaurus? Wow. Very cool. Alright, I think there might be, maybe, somebody else. I think I see someone. You see that too? Let's see who this friend is in here.
Oh, he's still covered up.
Oh, here we go. Put that one right up for us to see. It is
A crab.
a crab. What color?
He's green.
Green. Okay.
Anybody else? I think we've got
I think
everybody.
we got everybody else. Very good. Ta-da! All right, let's talk about who we found today. So we found the orange sea lion, right, Laura?
Yeah.
That's one. Number two, we
A
found
hammerhead.
a hammerhead shark. Yeah. We found number three here. We found a little blue whale.
Hey, Dad.
And then
A crab.
we found a green crab. That's number four. Number five, we found a gold
See a
sea
turtle.
turtle. And this one surprised me a lot. But we found A dinosaur too, a mosasaurus. What was he doing in there?
I don't know.
That's super silly.
But they are ocean creatures.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. So it's not that surprising, right? Of course, they lived in the ocean long time ago. We found this one, which was, at one point in time, it was red. A red octopus, right? And we also found
a dolphin.
A black dolphin. So now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then number 9. We found
an
orange lobster. Very good.
Oh, now we have to wash our hands.
That's right. Always wash your hands after playing with this stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Good job, everybody. Hey, everybody. We're going to talk about some sea animals now. We have 7 friends here, and my special friend Willa is here to tell us all about these different sea animals. So would you hold them up one at a time and tell us about them, Willa?
These are the greatest animals that I've ever seen.
What is this?
This is a dolphin.
Very nice.
So right here. This is a seahorse. They are very cute.
Yeah.
And they are the almost greatest swimmers. They go like this and this.
Didn't you say they swim sort of slowly?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They hop on their tails. They hop on rocks. Right here. This is a crab. They are pinchy. They always like to dance.
And they walk side to side, don't they?
Yeah, they go side to side. Let's put them right here.
Ooh, who's next? You going for that one or a different one?
This is a starfish. He is very pretty, and they swim very gently.
Can you hold them up for us?
Oh, not upside down. We want to be this way.
Yeah, starfish. Some people call it a sea star. Very cool.
So this is an octopus. They are very playful, and they also just go like.
Do you know how many legs they have?
They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
That one has six legs, right? I think generally they have 8 real ones, I think. Very cool.
But this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This one has 6 ones. So we'll put them right there. But this is a giant whale. They swim very cute. But he can't fit in the pile.
Let's show them to the camera. They have a blowhole right at the top of their head right here. They can blow water out of it. Isn't that cool?
So he will go right here.
And who's our last friend?
Is a shark.
It's a shark.
So sharks swim in the water, see?
Yeah. Awesome.
Alright, that's it.
Okay, everybody, we've got the Melissa and Doug Sea Animals puzzle, and we're going to talk about where these different sea animals go. So first up, we've got the octopus. Does anybody at home see where the octopus goes? Here. Yeah, that's right. Good. All right, I think next who I have here is the dolphin. Yeah. All right, can anybody guess where the shark goes? Where does the shark go?
Sharks.
Yeah.
Too bad we don't have a hammerhead.
I know, well that's okay. Next we have, can anyone guess where the sea star goes? Yeah. And then, who's this? Who's this, Willa?
That's a seahorse.
The seahorse. That goes here.
Nah.
No. You're right.
Then I'll...
And next we have the whale. That one, I can tell where that goes because that's really big. Yeah. And now, who are we missing? We have one left to do. Anybody know?
There's a crab.
It's the crab. There he is. Yay, great job, everybody. Yeah.